This is their current water pipe, and this is what's supposed to look like. The difference in how clear this one is and how dirty this one is. And that's the water they're drinking and they're bathing with and they're cooking with.
Lead poisoning is irreversible. There's no cure for it. So once they get infected with lead poisoning, there's no turning back. They can try to treat these symptoms, but they will forever be poisoned by the lead.
Proposing that they send letters of concern to Michigan's governor, along with bottled water to the citizens of Flint, the student government officers at Oxon Hill High School demonstrated recently that their empathy and concern extend far beyond the school walls, and that their voices will be heard.
Most of the students take it upon themselves to get involved because this is a very community-oriented school, and we like to help each other.
With agenda items ranging from immigration issues to a new graduation gown policy, to whether an African American Studies course should be restored, the give and take at the SGA meeting showed participatory democracy and Oxon Hill pride at their very best.
I'm a senior here, so I actually went to the old Oxon Hill, and I understand where we have come from and how great we've become. This is a great school. I love my school, and I want people to be able to see the greatness of Oxon Hill. I don't want people to think that we're more than just the science tech program. We have a great culinary program. We have a great SGA. We have great sports, and I want people to be able to see that. And that's why everybody comes together as one, in one room, as one student body, and is able to discuss topics and make the school a better place.
If Oxon Hill High is a better place, and inarguably it is, much of the credit can go to the student government, whose many accomplishments include pushing to change the school's address to match its mascot.
Everything that we set our minds to do gets done because we're a powerhouse. It's all of us working together to make sure that the students are represented properly and the things that they want get done. So I think we've been very effective.
When we moved to the new school, they wanted something to call our own, and so therefore we petitioned the county council if they would rename Felker Avenue to Clipper Way. So they are invested, and the engagement that you saw, actually, we do this. This is what we do.
Having tasted political success and aspiring to careers in public service, Oxon Hill's 3 student government officers took the next logical step. They all went to Annapolis to serve as student pages. Brimming with confidence, they were more than ready to get some ideas to take back home and, if needed, step in for delegates and senators who just might be hearing footsteps.
You seem like a natural politician. Is that something that you're thinking about in the future? Because that skill will take you just about everywhere.
It's a possibility. I'm looking into possibly being a diplomat, going and being an ambassador. I do know for a fact my end goal is to be U.S. Secretary of State. Like, that is the end goal. So.
I think you could probably step in for Mike Bush or Mike Miller for a day. Are you ready to do that if called upon?
I think I am. Sounds fun.
Because when I do meet with all the pages that come here each year, especially the ones that are from my legislative district in Prince George's County, I like to joke and I say, I encourage you to do it at some point. Just don't come after my position. But one day it probably will happen.
In effect since 1970, the Maryland Student Page Program gives high school seniors from across the state the opportunity to serve 2 non-consecutive weeks during the annual 90-day legislative session. And while the job involves making a lot of coffee, making a lot of copies, and plenty of waiting around, it is also a graduate course on how government really works.
Mostly they're here, though, to observe the debates, to engage with their delegates and their senators, to go to committee hearings, and to really know what the issue is about. Sometimes a page will come up to me and say, Mrs. Schuterberg, what is that bill about? And I say, well, why don't you print out the bill, read it, and come back to me and tell me what the bill's about.
We're so excited to have them. They're the very best. They're selected by educators, not by politicians. They're good scholars, but they're also active in their schools, and they've got good personalities, and they mix in well with the members of the Senate and the House. So they help us make the process work.
For Oxon Hill's Naisha Young, the Page experience has been a revelation. Politicians, she learned, aren't always partisan and stuffy. Many just want to have fun.
In the House of Delegates, they're so laid back, and they laugh and they joke around. They have so much fun, and I thought politicians were so strict and so they didn't have fun. They know how to smile or things of that nature, but it's so laid back and it's so much fun in there. It's like how it's like at school. Just everybody's working together, joking around, but come to a compromise at the end.
It is, and it's so funny because the Republicans and the Democrats get along often very well. They can be best friends. You see them coming up and hugging each other on the first day of session. And these are people from opposite parties. Often if they work on the same committee, they are really good friends because they work so many hours together.
Learning legislative lessons, like politicians are human beings too, is easy for the Pages since they have the run of Annapolis. Thanks to their signature gray blazers, they rarely meet a door that doesn't open.
Tell me about the power of the blazer. Do you feel it?
I do. I love wearing it. I really wish I could take it home.
This blazer kind of gives you a lot of authority, not authority, but a lot of access. You're walking around and people don't really ask you, who you are or where you're going. They see the blazer, it's a page. They don't ask you anything. You can kind of walk around wherever you want to.
And I tell them that on their orientation. I say, wear your blazer proudly. When you wear that blazer, people are going to know that you're a Page, and that means a lot. They'll be walking down the hallways and maybe the governor will stop and talk to them, or delegates and senators certainly will talk to them. And it opens a lot of doors.
Well, they can go anywhere they want. It's amazing. The governor has functions at the governor's mansion. Like, for example, the last day of the session, it's kind of open house over there, and you see all the pages over there gobbling up the governor's food.
After listening to Delegate Chris Valderrama, an Oxon Hill graduate herself, explained that while most legislators are attorneys, the common denominator is a passion for public service. Paige Naisha found her interest in government wedded even more.
I know that nobody ever agrees on everything, but I love to see how people and politicians work together because that's something that I want to do. So I would love to see how our bills are made. How are people dissect them and able to really understand why this is like that and be able to see what's going on, because that's something that I want to do when I get older.
Specifically, what do you want to do?
I actually want to work in Congress or in the Supreme Court. I plan on being a political science major and then going to law school.
Knowing that, looking down from high above the House floor, it's not much of a stretch to imagine Naisha Young sitting at one of those desks as a delegate herself. Just so she doesn't run against Chris Valderrama. For TV 96 and 38, this is Dave Zara.